Beast Games finalist. Confront MrBeast, bro. We have a hour-long, 24-minute video interview going on here. Shout out to Jon Youshaei. Youshaei. Damn, I butchered that name. I'm sorry, bro. You're not saying. We got Jon. Hey, this popped up on my suggestion feed randomly. I did react to Beast Games, all of it. It's on the channel. Yeah, bro. Let's. I figured react to this, bro, because we gotta hear what they think about, what they talk about. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
Beast Games is not a normal show.
JC was greedy to take the 650.
No, don't tell them what they want to hear. Tell them the truth.
Yes, the juicy stuff. So this is not going to be a normal reunion.
Dino, I'd like your attention right now. Dino is a 60-year-old white man from Hollywood. He instinctively chose jazz because he thought that black women were friends.
We have a little twist.
Well. Yeah, maybe it was selfish, but I have a lot of
Oh, this getting tea, boy.
support on Reddit and so forth.
We got the tea.
All bets are off. I'm playing me against 9. Period.
Calm down. We're getting a little too rowdy up here.
We're going to talk about the drama.
Ooh,
The Habibi
boy, I'm about to
brothers.
get juicy. That. Standing on it.
Would you guys change anything about
Absolutely not.
You know we're putting this on the internet. Okay.
some surprises? I got a hard-hitting question for you.
Oh, God.
We got 89% from the fans, 13% from the critics. Why the difference?
I don't know if we have to keep opening these wounds.
What changes would you make if you were the owner of TikTok? I'm your host, Jon Youshaei. One thing that we learned about
Jon Youshaei. Jon Youshaei. Shout out to you, boy.
you afterwards is that you're a professional poker player.
They believed it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. Did you tell your husband right after the show ended that you turned down $1 million 3 times?
In that moment, I knew like it was over, and I felt like I let a lot of people down.
Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell because we have so many big videos coming up. More interviews, more studio tours, more video breakdowns. So hit that button so you don't miss it. And now, back to the video.
So let's kick it off.
Get
Can we
it.
see your bank account? I'm kidding.
Jimmy actually shared a screen. Can I say this?
Yeah. I showed him a screenshot before he came up of us.
It's 10 mil, bro. Oh my God.
Sending him the money. And I got a screenshot of it.
And you got it. Speaking of that, okay,
Jesus.
now that we got the top 10 here, we prepared a little graphic taking a look at how much each of you have made while you were on the show.
Wait.
10, 1. Yeah, we saw this at the end, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Damn.
Dude, look at my 50 cents! Let's go!
She made 50 cents more than Patrick.
Let's go.
Bro, shout out to her, bro. Oh my God. To Yessie, bro.
I spoke with all of you before this in preparation. I sent out some surveys. One of the questions I asked was there anyone who you thought did not deserve the money they won?
Oh. Oh my gosh.
Jump right into it.
Juicy.
6 of you said JC.
Whoa.
Why?
Because 650,000 is absolutely greedy.
Oh.
Can you elaborate? Why? I mean, JC has a family.
Yeah.
He talked about trying to pay off his debt, taking care of his kids.
You don't mention one number and then take more than that and then say, I'm justified in taking that. It's not how that should go.
JC, do you want to respond?
Come on.
Jumping right into it.
I'll wait for my turn. I didn't think it was going to get this hot
Get
this
juicy.
quick.
We're getting into it.
But I'll wait for my turn to respond. I have a reason for why I did what I did.
Isn't this your turn right now, though?
Yeah, it's your,
Yeah,
go for it.
like go.
No, because you weren't in my shoes. You can say, I would not have done this if I was... You were not in my shoes. Trust was already broken. Game on. I'm taking the money. You know what? I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. And I'm going to say it loud for the people in the back. I will never, ever, ever choose any of them before my family. Period. Period.
Wow. This is
You got a point. I mean, bro, yo, at the end of the day, the entire show was one on one on one on one. It was a free for all, bro. At the end of the day, yes, in certain parts it would have made sense to split it evenly or do some teamwork, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the goal was to fucking win, bro.
Good reunion.
Oh,
Everything, all opinions, though. No right or wrong. No
wow,
right or
I
wrong.
did not expect it to get that heated that soon.
No right or wrong.
I was gonna say I was very nice.
Yeah.
I don't know about heated. It could have got spicy, but I'm lukewarm right now.
Let's make it a little. Well, we got some clips. Let's make it a little bit spicier.
Oh God.
He wants to start something. John, you're not slick.
Is $1 million. This million is up for grabs in the next challenge. Starting with the player in house 1, you'll each come out of your house one at a time to take as much or as little of the $1 million as you'd like.
I didn't expect that at all.
Really?
Yeah, this is guaranteed money.
This your money?
I
650.
would pay off my mortgage and my debt.
How much debt?
A lot.
Do you feel comfortable sharing?
With mortgage, credit cards, loans, I probably owe about $530.
Whoa, you can take exactly what you need to pay off all your debt.
Hey, bro.
JC, I trust more than anyone here because he was in my red cube box challenge with me.
In such a short amount of time, I've grown to love you guys like if you were my daughters. Until you said, I want to take care of you, but I don't know what to do right now.
And he said he'd take me to the top, and now I'm number 4. So yeah, I don't see them sabotaging me whatsoever. I trust every one of them.
I know I'm gonna have a target
You're
on my
wrong,
back,
baby.
but I'm not guaranteed the $5 million either. I want to leave something for Emma.
So what do you think at 566? How much are you taking for yourself?
Look at you. Look at
I'm gonna
Jimmy.
take $650.
Whoa! Okay.
JC, I trust more than anyone here.
Yo,
Emma,
the
I wanted to
edit.
give you the floor because you said something beforehand. You said, I would have not have trusted people so easily, and I would have played more for myself.
Yes, I mean, being at my age 22, I feel like there's still a lot of learning I have to do, and I do need to trust myself more than anyone in this game, and I feel like that was my first big betrayal in my life, so it's very shocking to me. However, looking back, yes, initially I was very hurt, but as I've had time to think about it, I realized he did what he had to do for his family. This is a show to earn money, and I can't be mad at that, even though it did hurt my feelings. And I have forgiven you as a person, but I will never forget the situation.
I get it.
Respect. Respect.
That's incredibly mature.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Y'all can't even see her. I'm gonna go. Let me go over here. I think it's a safe spot. Let me see. Nothing at the bottom left. No, because they have the little camera on the bottom right. Okay, I'm good here.
That's incredibly mature. That's incredibly. JC, do you have anything to?
Yeah, I want to share what led up to that point. Prior to that happening, Tawana comes up to me and says, hey, JC, you are trusting the wrong people. What do you mean? Jeff, Patrick, and Gage, they want you out. They are coming for you. Impossible. These are 3 people that I trust the most.
Hey, bro.
aside from-
Here's the thing. All we know is what we saw. That's hours, days, weeks, months of footage that they had, bro. A lot of shit got cut. We're gonna hear some spicy shit in this, guaranteed. Guaranteed, bro. We are.
From Emma. Impossible. Player comes up, we separate. Jimmy, hey guys, game on, nobody talk to each other. Right? We go into our bunkers, and then it hit. Earlier that afternoon, before our family arrived, I walked over to Patrick's bunk, and as I approach the steps, I hear laughter and talking, and I knock on the door. Complete silence. I knock again, I hear scattering. I open the door. I see Tawana running out the back.
Ooh.
I see the boys
Okay.
standing there, pale face, talking over each other. Nothing makes sense. The first thing I said is,
Juicy.
what's going on? That's the very first thing I said because it didn't make sense to me. Patrick decides to say, oh, she just got spooked. Spooked about what? It didn't make sense to me. So when I sat in my bunk and I was in my own thoughts and I said, okay, Tawana's not lying. It all synced back to that moment. I felt betrayed. I felt let down. I felt angry because I let my guard down and I trusted people that I thought I could trust. Shame on me. And at that point, I decided it's game on. All bets are off. I'm playing me against 9. Done.
Wow.
Okay.
And I want to say, till this day, and I'm going to call them out because I have to. Till this day, because that's what I do. I'm dramatic. It's in my DNA. Till this day, they do not remember anything about that conversation. They don't remember, no, we didn't say that. For misleading me, for misunderstanding what they said. Take that somewhere else, man.
Dang.
Wow.
All right.
I'm glad we're getting these other perspectives out there. There's a lot of people who you named there. Tawana, do you want to respond? Anybody else want to respond to that?
I mean, he took a very long time to say the same thing he already said.
Oh, good.
Okay, I want to switch topics a bit. Mike, you're not getting off the hook here, man.
That's true.
Hey,
You're not getting off the hook here. It's right before the Tower Challenge. Took a little bit more than his fair share of money. If we could play the clip.
It is finally your turn. You can take 100 grand, like 830 did.
I have a specific number in my head. I'm gonna go with 223,000 because it's my birthday. How crazy is that? It's just nuts to look at it, you know.
Happy birthday.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
what's the problem?
Would you make that same decision again?
I would, yeah. When I have the chance to get some money and not kick anybody out is great, you know. Let's go. Let's play a game.
I don't know if we have to keep opening these wounds.
Yeah.
These wounds is gonna get cut deep, stomped on, all of that, bro. And it's crazy because he's the man, bro. It's his show. And he has no fault in any of this. He's just chilling, bro. Dealing with the drama. Oh, that's hilarious, gang. What the fuck?
Do you expect this to play out like these scenarios when you, Tyler, Clifton were planning out these challenges? Because it's just
that one in
fascinating.
particular, I had no idea. I mean, if you would have asked me before we started filming, I would have said the first person's just going to take the million, and then. But on set, I had no idea what was going to happen.
I wanted to freeze frame on a moment that you could see so much emotion in this person's face. If we could play the moment that Tawana, you realized that Jeff won the 10 million.
That 10 million in cash is represented on
Crazy.
a check in that 6 briefcase.
Crazy.
I think 6 briefcase has the check.
Is there anything you want to say to that?
It's your pick.
You had played so hard that entire game. When he said briefcase 6, which had the $10 million in it, what was going through your head?
Facts.
Sorry.
She's a G, bro. She is a G.
I honestly felt like in that moment, I knew like it was over, and I felt like I let a lot of people down. Like it wasn't about the money for me, but I felt like in the beginning of the games, I didn't have any idea about the money. Like I didn't think about the money. It was just, I want to get to the end of these games. And then as I got closer, I was like, oh, I can really, this can happen. I can make a difference. And then when he got the first briefcase, I was like, oh, I let Jimmy down. I ruined the game. And then I was like, I let the kids down. Like, I let everyone down. And then there was a moment where you see me smile because I was happy. I really was happy for you. And it was just so much, like after being through so much, it was bittersweet. Like I felt like I let people down, but I was so happy that you were gonna do so much good. So it was just it's a good time.
It was, yo, what? Me, if I was him and I won, I would have given her some money, bro. I would have given her some money. No cap. And it's not necessary, but like, I don't know, gang. I don't know. I was really like hoping he would just give her at least a $1 or something, bro. Something small, you know what I'm saying? Like anything, bro.
Why'd you pick the number 6?
I was just trying not to signal anything. Like my heart was pumping so hard.
Did you pick up on any of those cues from her?
Yeah, I told Tawana this earlier. It didn't matter.
Really?
I had already picked 6 when we were up top, looking down at the briefcases.
Interesting.
The six was talking to me for days.
Really? Wait, tell us more about that. Like,
so first, when you think about the money grab, Patrick picks 5, and he gives me key number 6.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh wow,
I'm now in bunk 6. We spent the whole day in 6 before.
Oh, I kept that hoe. Oh my god, that's crazy. See, it's bro, people be having stories like that too. Little things when it comes to numbers and stuff where it's like, yeah, that's my number right there. That's why people have favorite numbers, but like just little things like that, bro, they pinpoint. Oh, I seen a 2 over here. Look at a 2 over there. Oh, that's a 2 over there. You know what I'm saying? Like they just get attached to the number, you know what I'm saying? So for sure that's what he probably felt for sure.
There's a prayer I say a couple times a day that has 6 words in the first verse. Then we go to the top 6. Yeah. And then I don't know if there's a clip here, but you're talking to us about it. So I'm already going, it's 6.
Really?
Then you spin it, you put your hand down.
Uh-huh.
Do you know which one you put it on?
No. 6? Really?
Then you spun it again.
This is before.
You know which one you put?
12. Put it on 12.
Put it on?
No. 6? Really?
Then you spun it again.
This is before she mixed them.
This is before she mixed them.
Yeah, to be clear.
You spun it again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was in front of me or in front of you. It said 6. I'm like, oh.
Oh my gosh.
It's 6. So a lot of what I did was a little bit performative.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was going 6, but I also wanted to see what she was responding.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, you put the 3 briefcases on the top. Was that was there a rule?
No, she could do whatever. It just had to be on the thing.
Okay, because I was like, so in my mind, having to choose out of 10 briefcases would have, made your odds better. Why did you leave those out?
Those were still in play.
Yeah, he could pick from up there.
Those were still in play.
Okay, gotcha.
Like if she wanted to, she could have stacked all 10
gotcha.
up there, and then he just grabbed one of them.
But honestly, when you're in that situation, your nerves are just going
Okay. I was a little confused on that too. Why she put it up top?
in your brain. You can't think straight, and you're just reacting, just moving. And looking back now, I know what I should have done, but shoulda, woulda, coulda-s. Like it was always meant to be the way it was gonna be.
I was worried he was gonna hear you moving them because you didn't move too many.
Yeah.
I was like, oh gosh.
What did you think when they picked it on the first time? Because I remember
that was wild.
We were talking about like what's the ideal case scenario. You're like, oh man, I hope it goes 3, 4, 5 rounds.
Yeah. Well,
How many rounds do you think it'll go?
Oh, but I'll open the first briefcase, there it is.
Ideally, it's not the first round. I mean, there's a 10% chance. Round 1 would be brutal. The fans would be pissed because one of you wouldn't even get a chance. Yeah,
Facts.
4 would be awesome. And if we went like 5 or 6 deep, that would be crazy.
I didn't think it would be the first one. I mean, obviously it's a 90% chance it wouldn't. I was flabbergasted.
That's wild.
But I think it worked out well because like you guys had that like tension where he was like, "What'd you say?" and it built up really well. I mean, it would have been very brutal if she was just put it there and he's just like 6. Then I would. But they gave us plenty to work with, so I don't think it mattered. Like it still turned out really good, and we had like a really solid build up. So yeah, I actually think it worked out well because it might have got a little repetitive.
First try was crazy though.
Yeah.
And I mean, and obviously everybody knows Tawana. Like, she is intimidating. She's got. So
Is
for
that
me,
supposed to be intimidating?
She's a G, bro.
well, I trust me. Like from the get, when I walked by you when you were kind of talking to Gage with the coin flip, I'm like, if there's any chance I win, I need you to see a side of me that you've never seen. So it's like, I need to try to get in your head somehow, and you kind of spit it right back at me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not going well.
She ain't budge.
It did catch me off guard.
Dark Jeff.
I was like, where is this coming?
Same. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was trying to like make jokes on set to like bring the energy down a little bit. I was like, damn.
Tawana, I just want to say, you said you let people, you let nobody down. Yeah. Nobody.
I know what she was saying, but yeah.
I mean, Tawana, I give you a lot of props for saying no to $1 million 3 times. And I've met your husband. You talked so much about your children. Like, was that conversation hard coming home?
I think after all is said and done, there's always the woulda, shoulda, couldas.
Always. Always.
The first 2, 1,000,000% no. Like, I don't regret that at all. My family understands why I did it, and they don't like question why I didn't take the money. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are like, oh, you're stupid. I would have taken it. But the first time, it would have been sending people home to take the money. The second time, we talked and we said, hey, there's enough for everybody. Let's just do this is kind of a side quest on the whole game. Let's all get something, and then we can move forward for the final goal. The last one is quarterbacking. You know, it's what's we call it, Monday morning quarterbacking. You know, like, I may not have gotten the win at the end, but I'm still going to keep fighting for what I want and what I believe in, and I'm still going to get my nonprofit off the ground. It's just going to be in a different way.
Yeah.
Did you tell your husband right after the show ended that you turned down $1 million 3 times, or did you build up to it over time?
No, I ripped that Band-Aid off right away.
Right away, hey, missed you. By the way, I rejected $1 million 3
times.
By the way,
yeah, coming home without the $1 million. But I mean, for myself, how do you live with yourself? How do you live with yourself when you look people in the eyes and say, hey, I won't do this. This is the plan. And you just stick to it. That's all.
Okay, another question we asked you guys. How do you feel you came across in the final edits of the episode?
Ooh. I haven't talked to any of them about this.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most accurate, 1 being the least accurate.
I didn't feel accurate. I didn't. You feel me? It's shit.
6 of you basically said you were happy with it. 4 of you said you wish you would have come across better.
Whoa.
And I'm wondering, is there anything you want to express or elaborate on to the millions of viewers who may not seen a side of you?
Tens of millions.
Tens of millions that may have not seen the side of you on camera that came out on the show.
I do want to clear something. Yeah. For everyone's info, me and Yessie are good.
We're good.
We're totally fine.
Good.
Let's go.
We're good.
I never flat out said like I was lying to her. That did not happen. Everyone knows my character.
What did you say?
See, depending on where you throw is where I'm gonna throw.
Whoa! So you're saying
this part. Yeah, she fucking lied.
and you'll only throw at
Crazy work.
947 if she throws at you first?
Yeah, of course.
Whoa, she went for 831 instead of 937.
That was good.
Wait. She didn't throw at you, but you still threw at her. 937 just did the exact opposite of what she said earlier.
I just remember on set going, whoa, that's not what she said. But
yeah, if I remember correctly, I said that, and then a couple rounds later is when we were targeting each other, and then that's when Yessie got me out.
It's Mac here. Mac doing some deception.
Oh. Damn. So that editing was off.
I want to know. But Yessie and I are good. I would never flat out lie to Yessie.
We're good.
I just want to say that.
See that? Editing made it seem like she was lying, bro. Crazy. Editing she.
Courtney, hey dude.
Editing tells a story. What's up, Ivy?
Yeah, I feel like you were so authentic in the way that you were portrayed, and nothing phased you.
100%. Yeah, props to the editors.
Courtney, you look good. You know what I'm saying?
And Mac and you guys for creating all this, but absolutely represented me exactly how I am, and
Nice.
you know, working with God and how I want the world to see me, and also maybe take some notes from how to act in some situations, exactly how I wanted it to be.
Do you wish when they started throwing at you, that you tried to like get them all to gang up on someone else on the ball challenge?
Yes, my biggest regret is not teaming up with the girls and going towards, you know.
Because we had a conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a conversation of alliance.
Yeah, I would change that for sure.
Before the finale?
So like if I remember correctly, we had a conversation and I initiated it first. I said, do you guys want to be an alliance? And yes, he said yes. And Courtney was unsure, which, you know, we didn't know what we were doing.
Dang.
So we had no idea. But we all could have done an alliance.
Courtney! She looked good.
But,
So you could have half the people teamed up.
So we just all went for ourselves instead. But
interesting.
The
and maybe you guys would have got
changed.
Jeff out.
Who knows? Yeah.
Alliances.
A lot of what ifs.
Gage, you're being awfully quiet over there, Mr. 10 million coin flip.
I know, right?
W mans.
I was portrayed as like a very, you know, mellow, subdued, like under the radar, quiet person.
This is a perfect metaphor for how you played the game.
Yeah.
Just let everybody else duke it out.
I mean, a little bit. I felt like, I mean, I had some great interactions with all of you guys and everyone, and I feel like they didn't portray me in like the lighthearted kind of goofy way that I would have liked. I mean, a lot of it was very serious. I was like, you know, on the bleachers all alone looking out in the distance. You're like the quiet one. But
That's
yeah,
what we said.
I was okay with it.
How did you get the balls to decide to do that coin flip?
Yes.
Like, but you would have been eliminated. Like, coming that far.
Did you think there was going to be an advantage, or tell us what was going through your head?
Part of it was I thought there might have been an advantage there. That was one aspect. There were several aspects in my thought process. I thought that I kind of needed to redeem myself a little bit after the last game, having to, you know, pretty much backstab 3 people and tell them that I was going to vote for them and then not vote for them. So maybe get back in like the good graces a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
So you felt obligated to risk your spot to make everyone like you again.
For sure, and also like as I was portrayed like by everyone else as well. So I felt really bad about that. And then I just thought it would be so cool. I thought it'd be so cool to just if it was.
You landed that fucker, boy.
Yeah, could you imagine if you had lost though? You would have replayed that in your head every night forever.
I would have.
You would have been like, would I have won the $5 million?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Would anybody else have done the coin toss if Gage didn't step
Would you
up?
have?
I was really thinking about it. Like I was really.
No, but be honest.
No, be honest. I felt you were egging him on.
No, for real. Like I was like, ask everybody. Like I was really like. I was like, let me feel it. Let me just, and as I'm feeling the vibrations of the coin, a hand just snatches up under me, and I'm like, oh, well, he's got it. Okay.
But if he didn't touch it, you would have done it.
I don't know if I would have done it. Like, I was like really like tossing it in my head, but I was really thinking about it.
Jeff, was there a world where you ever would have done it?
No, but I looked at Gage right away, and I saw Gage in a way I've never seen him. And I'm like, oh, he's doing it. Like 100% he's doing it. I just want to make him feel good about it.
You did make him feel good. You're like, never in mankind, Gage. Never in mankind.
No, but
and then Gage is like, never in mankind.
Hey.
He did break a record too doing that shit. He did break a record doing that shit, bro.
First ever. I mean, Guinness Book.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yup.
That's right.
He made you rich.
Made you rich.
Richer.
Yessie.
Oh.
That memory challenge.
Yessie. Oh my.
Do you think about that pattern?
Fucking memory, boy.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Still, I
know
can
it by
imagine you
heart.
walking down the street. You know,
One fucking stat,
What's
bro.
crazy is he even told you it was to the left.
You know what? So before we went into that challenge, we were put on ice, which is essentially when we can't speak to anyone. And I had just gotten told, like, hey, watch out for Jeff. So I was already... by Tawana. She had told me, like, hey, like, be careful. No, but hold on, okay? Like, Jeff and Gage are in alliance, and I kind of thought Tawana was in there, but then she wasn't really in the alliance because she was just cool with everyone. So I was already like, dang, Jeff wants to take me out? I was like, but why? I was like, oh, because this is a game. I was like, oh, why am I so dumb?
If you made it across, who would you have eliminated?
You know, after thinking about it, I do think it was going to be Gage. I'm sorry, Gage.
Wow.
So in the tower, you lied to me, buddy. I helped you and you lied to me. So I was like, Gage. And then
I don't remember that actually lying to you specifically and with the intent.
He's like, I just kind of lied. It wasn't like a serious lie.
I think it was misinterpreted because my intention was to say that I didn't.
You were just one of the 3 people he thought he could vote for.
No, in that moment, that's just like what I had remembered. And after that, like during the ball toss, you never looked at me or you never said anything to me. Whereas Jeff, he told me immediately straight up, like, hey, you know what, this was just part of my strategy. Like, I'm sorry, no hard feelings. And I respected that, you know, like immediately. And of course, Tawana had just helped me out in the tower. So Jeff helping me out with the pattern, I was already like, all right, he's good. But in that last moment when Jeff told me to scoot over one right, he like touched his beautiful, beautiful hair. And I was like, oh man, Jeff doesn't know either. I'm cooked. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna bet on myself because that's a decision I'm never gonna regret, you know? Every single time, if I lose by betting on myself, I'm proud of that decision.
Wow, give it up. That's a beautiful statement.
Facts.
And so,
Facts.
so if you did make it across, it would have been Gage, and then would you have taken the $1 million?
Oh, absolutely. Dude, you would have shown the money.
So it would have been, the same
fast.
outcome. She just would have got the $1 million instead of Gage.
Yeah. No, I would have never like taken this away for. I mean, Jeff, I know your family. We had just met them before that $1 million bribe, and then with Tawana, we essentially had the same dream, building a shelter. You know, we grew up similarly, so I couldn't take that away from them.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, Yessie.
W.
Patrick, you are awfully
Respect.
quiet over there, man.
You haven't asked me a question
I'm
yet.
about to right now. So I had a lot of time to spend with these guys on set, and every time I would see Patrick, he would tell me these rules of Beast Games that he would come up with. And I want to play a clip that we prepared that people didn't see on the show of me asking Patrick about a few of those rules and him getting a little cocky.
Oh, Puppet Master Patrick.
Puppet Master Patrick. Rule number 1, listen to clits. Rule number 2, ask questions. Rule number 3, trust your friends. And rule number 4, don't take Jimmy's bait. And since looks like 4 people are getting out tonight, that's all I'm gonna give you.
Wait, there's more rules.
Oh yeah, there's 10. The top 10 rules of Beast Games.
What's rule number 5?
Rule number 5 of Beast Games?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll have to tell you when I see you tomorrow after I make it.
Did you see him tomorrow?
No. Tell us a bit more about your rules of Beast Games and just some of the psychology. Like, you were breaking down every little detail.
You know, for years, I always wanted to do this show called Survivor, and it was just a dream of mine growing up, and it was something I wanted to do to help my parents out. And then we heard about this show called Beast Games, and I had tried to maybe like apply to be in one of their videos, and that was always the goal, is to help my parents out with the money I got. And so for 3 years, I didn't take a vacation at my job just for the chance that I would maybe get some opportunity, like a different show. Or
Like saving up PTO so you could take time off?
Literally, yeah.
Crazy.
So like my family would be like, hey, we're going on a vacation, or we're going to
Crazy.
like, go have dinner or do this in this other city. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go study this video. Like, I'm trying to figure out challenges. And so anyway, long story short, I get into the show, and one of the things which I love when people make fun of, like, I love being butt of the joke, but I really stood by don't take Jimmy's bait, and here's why. We got screwed in cubes. What they don't show is that we had a rest day before the cubes. In episode 3 in cubes, before that we had a rest day. And then we had like a dance party that night that they don't show that was so fun.
Dang.
Epic. And so I'm like, my friend comes up to me, he's like, you're having fun, but like you look a little pensive. And I'm like, I don't know, man, I got a bad feeling Jimmy's gonna screw us tomorrow. And it was Brennan, shout out 7-Eleven. And so it's like 3 a.m. And so for like 40 minutes, I just like tell him some theory.
Damn. Hold on.
And it was Brennan, shout out.
Kind of want to hear her speak, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The one who won the island. I want to hear her speak.
At 7-Eleven. And so it's like 3 a.m. And so for like 40 minutes, I just like tell him some theories and he tells me what he thinks. And so the next day, we do a sack race. Seems like it's gonna be fun, right? And I'm like, oh, dang, I got it wrong, okay. And then right after sack races, I look up because me, Brennan, and Matt are right in front of the cube. Jimmy's above us. And he's like, guards, handcuff them. And I'm like, oh my God, we're screwed. And so I really had my guard up for Jimmy, you know, having some kind of trick on us in a challenge. And so when it came to episode 8 with $1 Million Bribe, I thought, all right, well, I'm just gonna take 0. You know, it's either an advantage or a disadvantage. I wanna make a bold play that I can be proud of and stand by. And so I decided I'm gonna take $0 and it's either gonna be awesome and I'll have an advantage in the next challenge. Maybe you have to carry the weight of your money. Maybe it's some advantage just in that challenge in some way. Or it's gonna be this big disadvantage where you don't have any buying power for a vote, or you don't have the money you need to accomplish the goal in that challenge.
I have something I wanted to ask when I watch it. So if JC actually did end up sending you guys money to vote for him, would you guys have? Like, so if he sent you like 50 grand, you wouldn't have voted for him? Would you have, Pat?
I thought about it a lot, and we talked on the 6th round, and I told him I would vote for him, but I was obviously so mad, like a lot of the rounds.
No, let's talk real talk.
Okay, real talk?
Don't tell them what they want to hear. Tell them the truth. You guys all met before and said, we are in agreement. It is a witch hunt. Nobody here is going to vote for JC or Michael.
Really?
And they were all in agreement. We're not going to take bribes from them. We are not going to vote for them. That is what Courtney told me, and I believe it because this is the most honest person in the whole entire
And so that's
game.
why you didn't even try to send money to any of them?
No.
Yeah.
So they set the precedence.
I do want to keep it moving because there's another person that a lot of you guys turned on. A big episode that people talked about all across social media was the trolley problem episode. Lambos versus best friends, loyalty, betrayal.
Our boy Dino?
Would you guys change how you treated Dino and how he was eliminated after he said no to $1 million and saved a lot of you guys on this stage? Because social media has a different take on that episode.
I'll say I don't understand why people were getting mad at Dino that he picked Jazz. He just had to do what he thought was strategic. So still to this day, I don't understand.
Oh, you want to take it?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
Here, let
I know
take it
you're
away.
the sweetheart, and I understand your position, but I really want to speak on this because I feel like out of the top 10, I'm really the only one that can. And what I want to say is that Jazz is the individual that was under the radar, completely, you know, just a solid player. She is the Black Emma in our position, right? And coming from a black girl, right? So Dino, I'd like your attention right now because this is going to be the only moment that you're really going to get this. For you, Dino, and to answer your question, I can't change what I did. I ragged on him, and I ragged on him hard because Dino is a 60-year-old white man from Hollywood. He instinctively chose Jazz because
Jimmy don't like this.
He instinctively chose Jazz because he thought that black women were friends. But let me just say this. At no point in the game was there a major camaraderie with the black women playing in B-Skins. We played based on who we were. You know, I'm very different from Tawana. Tawana's very different from Jazz. Jazz is very different from Mo. Mo is very different from Mia. Me and Mia come from the same the same state, city, you know, different places. I'm from the county more, so she's the city. But it's like, we come from the same place, but we're totally different. And so the thing that I want America to understand is when I said that no one is going to respect you, I wasn't talking about the world. I was talking about the players, because when I have these individual and one-on-one conversations with everyone, they've all said, yeah, it was obvious, because we all know what the relationships were like in the game. The relationships in the game were a part of the strategy, and I understand why he used it. I'm not faulting him in this moment, in retrospect, for his decision, because it's not something that I feel like he was intentionally racist, trying to accomplish that goal. No, by no means. However, I want the honesty of knowing that you chose that. It's no different than if it was 9 black people and 1 white, or 8 black people and 2 white people sitting up here, and then it's like, oh, the black people are going to just choose the white. Like, it would have been the same thing. So I just want the honesty in that. I want the world to understand that it wasn't a direct blow to him and his character as an individual, but it was definitely to bring awareness in the fact that we do have things that we've inherited from what we've culturally come from. You know what I mean? And that was a diversity that I felt like the show touched on in many other ways, but I wanted to make sure that I spoke on that because I love Jazz and I felt like she deserved that respect that was not mentioned.
There's so much to unpack there, and we have a little twist. Obviously, this couch here isn't empty for a reason.
Is Dino coming up?
So we thought we'd invite up Dino to the stage. Come on up, Dino.
Real quick, I'm a little confused. If I'm wrong, correct me. So the whole point of that was pretty much like, not the whole point, sorry, but one of the points where it was a race thing. Because if that's the case, I don't think, at least the editing didn't portray it like that, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't pick it up like that, but I don't think it was like a race thing for him to decide that. I don't know.
All right.
Let's see.
Well,
Let's see.
A lot to unpack there. Have a seat. So, Dino, what's your thoughts on that?
Well. So, yeah, when it came down to the train situation there, basically Queen and I, she gave me a pound. She said she's stepping down. Completely supported that. She steps down, and then lo and behold, Jimmy with his twists, he says, "Oh, by the way, whoever steps down is automatically immune and going to the top 10. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I look back and I had 4, possibly 5 people that I thought, without a doubt, I'm going to have the support, especially helping them out when I turned down the $1 million.
Yep.
And so I go, this is a no-brainer. I step down. Lo and behold, then, Tawana steps down, of course, as well. As you called everybody out, they supported Tawana. Mm-hmm. And I just said, hey, no good deed goes unpunished, and we moved on. So, yeah. And then once all that took place, and then it came down to, Tawana asked me to step on the tracks. I was on the tracks. And when I was asked to pick someone to join me, I looked back, and everyone, in my mind, everybody was scrambling, hiding behind each other. JC stood straight, and he stood in his spot. And then Jazz was standing next to JC, but everybody else was scrambling behind. And it says, come on, like, you've got to pick somebody. You got to pick somebody. And in my eyes, I looked at JC, and I know he has his 2 boys, relating to those to my 2 grandsons. And so, okay, I'm going to leave JC. And I looked over, and I felt a bit rushed, and I selected Jazz. And yeah, maybe it was selfish, but I have a lot of support on Reddit and so forth. It was a decision I had to make. And so anyway, hey, the decision's been made, folks.
Nobody's calling you selfish.
So, hey, and I didn't grow up in Hollywood. I grew up in Linwood, California. I grew up with black and Mexicans, and that's my neighborhood. So, all right. So.
Black Mexican. No, black and Mexican.
Yeah. Okay. And also, a lot of people don't know this, but
Yeah, see, I don't think it was a race thing, bro. I don't know. I just feel like, all right, let's ask the question. All right, what if Dino was a black man? Would this conversation or that point in the conversation be a thing? If he was black? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think he chose her because he knew that they wanted Jasmine, they wanted her to stay. You feel me?
But Dino, you fought in the fires in LA and were on the front lines helping put that out. So I want to say thank you as well.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, man. Give it up for Dino.
Thank you.
All right, another big moment from that trolley episode was Akira and Mia.
Oh, God.
Both
Get them up here.
Are here today.
Get them up here.
I wanted to invite them on stage. So
yes, sir.
Give it up for Akira and Mia.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
How's your island?
Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, did you keep the island, or did you give the cat? How when you give away islands, which
we gave her the option. I mean, you can answer it.
They gave me the option to keep it or to exchange it for the monetary value, and
she chose to keep it, right? No.
What do you think I did? No, well, I mean, I really did want to own some property there, but it just in my best interest with everything being uninhabited, I chose the cash value. So.
I would have too.
Plus, if she chose to keep the island, she would have had to pay taxes on it, which would have been crazy. So, I mean, it's the logical thing to do, to take the money.
Do you remember what you said to Akira on the trolley problem episode?
Seemed like it's all black females. What did that tell you?
I didn't think I could win this fight.
She was heavy on that shit, bro. I was like, what are you like? Why? Why are we on that topic, bro? Why is that topic being brought up? She was like heavy on that shit, bro. I was like, what do you mean?
5 million. But I'm here to help somebody else win it. The only way to do that. Oh! Played a great game. Here it comes. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of the game that you played. You deserve better.
I can't hear you. I don't want to hear you. We good. We scared to compete against a woman.
I don't think there's any
Point blank, period. And you about to be next on the plane with me. A scaredy cat.
Do you
some nice lights up here.
I'm just curious, as you guys reflect outside of the heat of the moment, are there things you would have done or said differently?
Well, I know that a lot of times when you're playing the game, it's like, honestly, you forget I forgot the cameras were there. So it was just an honest response. And like people see the snarkiness of me, but I was quiet a lot of times to the game. So I observed a lot of people. The cameras show me have a lot of expressions and talk a lot, but most people that actually know me, they didn't know me until that ending part of the top 60 or top 20. That was when they actually found out who I was. So I got a chance to sit on a bus with people from New York to Ontario, Canada. And through that time, I got a chance to see how people interacted with certain people and chose not to interact with others. So the energies were there to get to know people. It's just the people that they got to know were probably the people that looked like them and they went to school with and was familiar. So all I would have to say from that episode, it was what it was. I do respect the way Akira approached this conversation. I will say, however, that a lot of times I feel as though, to me, eliminating me was one thing, but to eliminate 2 other people that didn't even have a chance to even get to be known or have a conversation or even get to the top, to me was just like, it could have been done a little bit better. It could have been mixed up, but it wasn't my decision to make, and I was disobedient in what I was doing, meaning that I, in my spirit, should have went up and competed against Akira, but I was just exhausted mentally from all the things that I went through before that.
Obviously, we didn't know each other very well, and I was very closed off for most of the game. Even in the final 21,
Notice how she said it was unfair to eliminate the 2 other people. And in the show, she was preaching black. You feel me? Like, why didn't she say that here?
I only knew half the people. So, like, going into it, it was very easy to get rid of people I didn't know. I think it would have been much tougher to make some of those decisions if I did have deeper connections. And unfortunately, once we got into the top 60, I did go on vacation, and we never had time to connect. You were fighting for your life out there. Coming back into the city, we went into 2 different challenges. First time we really talked was right after we went back in, top 21. And then, you know, we just never had the chance. So I never got to see your story, and seeing it play out live was really beautiful. And I did feel bad that I did end your dream, but also I felt really happy that you did come away with the island and that life-changing money. So I am sorry, but I wouldn't change anything that I did that day.
Respect. That's like one of the first apologies of the night.
Respect.
Crazy, right?
Closure. I mean, what's funny is they won more money than a lot of people over here.
Facts.
Okay, probably one of the biggest moments on the show that just sent shockwaves
Respect,
was episode 3, the cubes.
Ooh.
Ooh. And especially the Habibi brothers who had this moment.
Two brothers there told me I was going to be the one going home. They told me this earlier. So I said, fine, if I'm going home, if you can't decide one of the two, then you can come with me. So let's see how they do. I think one of you two should go.
Well, I don't think one of us should. I think one of us three should go.
Well, I'm not going unless you
here's the
guys
thing.
go.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Right now, your decision is going to result in all three of us leaving. That means you're guaranteed to leave.
I'm not going to break.
And exactly. You stood up for yourself.
And I know you're stubborn. I can tell you're stubborn.
You stood up for yourself.
If I go down, I'm going down together.
You're negotiating your demise.
I'm
gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna say it one more time. The point that you are making is you are negotiating your own demise.
So I don't want to get bullied into it. Like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm like not at all like I'm like whatever if they go out like.
Just be careful. They might cut you out to be a villain.
I know I'm gonna become a villain, and I know it.
I'm not playing.
You're not playing?
Draw the card.
What the heck, has him?
Draw the card. He's in here. Draw the card.
No. Oh.
Has him.
He's backing out.
Has him.
Backing out.
Do you want to go home?
I mean, no one wants to go home.
Nobody. So draw the card.
I was never part of this conversation.
I'll give you guys 10 more seconds, and I'm not going to peer pressure him.
All right, guess nobody wants to play the game. Even though she clearly didn't want to play, 20 minutes of nonstop manipulation might have just changed her mind.
We're just gonna say screw it and do it again. He's not gonna participate, but whoever makes it will keep that in their back of their mind moving forward.
So you want to do the card game again?
It's just gonna be us two. Whoever gets
Really?
whoever.
And you're not doing it? All right, the deck is shuffled.
And I had a good chance, and I'm just gonna ruin it. I just wanna get this over with.
3, 2, 1.
I told you I'd do it. I told you I'd do it. You guys.
Oh, no.
They're probably going to think you're evil, but it worked. You didn't have to play.
Nah.
We played, me and my brother were secretly talking to each other the entire time. And basically, she doesn't know about it.
Whoa. Whoa.
All right, well.
Fuck that. Fuck them.
There's a lot there.
Fuck both of them.
The Habibi brothers to ask them a few questions.
Yes.
Standing on it.
Simmer down. We're getting a little too rowdy up here. Here's the microphone.
Would you guys change anything?
Absolutely not.
Whoa.
You know we're putting this on the internet.
100%.
Okay, keep going.
So it's played off a little bit not how it truly happened in there. So first and foremost, Maddie, the player that was in the cubes with us, 225, we were friends from before. She was kind of like in our friend group. So we went in after the sack race, as a lot of people did. We were not the only situation, but we went in with our friends. And before the games even began, she told us, I'm not going to play a game. One of you two has to self-sacrifice for the other.
Before you even explain the rules.
Before the rules were
Before
explained.
the rules were explained, she put 2 and 2 together, and told us that one of you guys get out just because we're brothers.
And we weren't the only situation that happened in the cubes. And I'm sure, as anybody else out there who has a sibling or a family member, if you were put in a situation similar to ours and put in a cube where somebody puts you up between a rock and a hard place, you're going to fight tooth and nail to be able to get out. And it's at that point, it's the person that you trust the most with you. You're going to push as hard as you can to get to that position. So once she said that, prior to, I kind of thought about it in my head, and I said, well, if it comes down to it and I need to self-sacrifice, I'll push my brother to go forward and self-sacrifice. But then she said that, and I said, well, I'm going to go forward and work as hard as I can to be able to get both of us to go through. And if we go home, we go home. I fought what I needed to do, and at that point it was, oh, sorry, you can't hear me.
I thought you were going to hold his hand.
Yeah. At that point it was, we're going to do what we need to do, and we're going to work just to play a game at that point, because that's what we're fighting for, just to play a game. And
You know what's interesting is the theme of family I'm sensing from all you guys, and who is family.
Yeah.
Whether it's blood or chosen. Actually, if you're wondering why we have an empty seat here, in the audience is just the top 60, but we made an exception.
Yes.
Maddie, come on out.
Here we go.
Firsthand.
Here we go. Here we go.
Did you have a mic?
It's so good to see
Welcome
you.
to the reunion.
Wait, is this your guys' first time meeting in person since filming?
Yeah.
I
Meeting,
haven't gone to
meeting in
anything.
person, yes. Speaking, no.
Okay.
What do you have to say about what they said about how you came into the challenge before camera started rolling?
So one thing that I don't think anyone really knows is I actually have a degree in math and economics. But when we realized what the thing was, what the challenge was going to be, I was like, this is a very obvious game theory problem, which is a very common economics situation. So immediately when we got in the cube, I said, hey guys, I have absolutely nothing to gain by sacrificing myself, but you two do. You know, your brothers. It would. To the naked eye, it's obvious, like, okay, one of them should self-sacrifice for the other, push their brother through. So that's what I did, and I stood my ground for about 2 hours, and then I remembered that I know them, and they're very stubborn people. And economics class is not always real life, because in real life, you know, people are not always textbook rational, and egos exist, and there's a lot of emotions at play, so that obviously didn't work out.
If she didn't handcuff herself, the timer's ticking, 30 seconds left, would one of you have bit the bullet, or would you both have just gone home out of stubbornness?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely not.
So one thing we did talk about, because we had like a little bathroom break before the rules were explained, and she said this before the bathroom break, and so the game's already playing in our head, and we're like, oh my God, like what are we gonna do? And you know, I look to my brother, and you know, I tell him, I'm like, we can't go home. Like we can't like go home. Or sorry, we can't cuff ourselves. Neither of us. If she doesn't want to, like she didn't want to play fair, then we're all gonna go home and we're gonna stand on principle on
We
that.
can't sacrifice is what you're saying. We can't
Yeah.
sacrifice
But
ourselves. We're
if
going to play a
you
game.
flipped over the wrong card, would you have handcuffed yourself?
Oh yeah, at that point we played a game, and it's not at that point it's my time to go. Which I do want to bring something up, and I think this is ironically hilarious. So prior to us drawing, before you even came into our cube, we were trying to establish the rules of the game, and you mentioned that the ace was going to be the lowest card, and if anybody plays any card game or poker at all, ace is the highest. And at that point, I said, that's not worth me arguing. I just wanted to play a game. So I didn't say anything. I accepted it.
So she won for real. So she won within her rules. I mean, she lost within her rules. But she won within, like, you know what I'm saying?
And then at the end, I drew a king and she drew an ace.
Wow. Yeah.
Crazy.
How aware were you of how social media and the internet would react as you guys were going through this and making decisions? And if anybody has comments
like
on
in
that
the
side.
moment?
Yes.
It wasn't even a thought. Like while we're playing the game, it wasn't a thought because that's an afterthought. We're just focused on trying to get as far as we can in the game. So it wasn't. But then afterwards, when social media came out and people were hating, we kind of embraced it. We
knew it was gonna be like, you know, something for sure, but it not to this magnitude of like.
At least they knew motherfuckers was gonna be mad at them, bro. Yo, bro, that shit, it was just foul how they did it, bro. It was just foul, bro. I stand on that shit. They some whole ass motherfuckers for doing that shit, bro.
Oh my God.
We hate while she was crying didn't really help.
Yeah. Yeah. Eating Chipotle or whatever while she's going through her emotions.
Right? Like, what the fuck, bro?
Laughing at someone crying.
Not the best outfit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're here to create content.
Yeah, of course. You did a great job with that.
I realized it was kind of interesting though, seeing how like crazy I felt like our cube looked, and then everyone else were like having tea parties and having horses and sushi. I'm like, well, I feel like we used the phone wrong.
Cool. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming out, speaking your truth. Maddie, thanks so much for joining us as a surprise guest. Give it up one more time. The BB Brothers, Maddie.
Get them out of here. I stand on it.
Thank you.
Some whole ass shit they did, bro.
As you guys know, our friends at T-Mobile are amazing. Yes, there we go. Switch the lights. Bring it on up. Come on in, guards.
Bring out the guards.
Bro. Bring out the
We're not done.
Our friends at T-Mobile are huge fans of all of you. The top 10 are all getting a brand new phone, free T-Mobile service, and of course, all those amazing Magenta status travel perks and benefits. I've been with T-Mobile for a while now, and it's clear why they always hook me up. They're literally the best.
that they're huge fans of all of you. They wanted me to say they were inspired by the connection you guys shared, the amazing friendships you built on the show, and they want you to stay connected. Thank you, T-Mobile, for helping us make Beast Games possible. Thank you. Everyone give a round of applause.
All right, and now I'm going to talk to Jimmy for a bit about his honest thoughts of Beast Games, and then we're going to talk to Jeff about how he's going to spend his $10 million.
Let's get it.
Give it up one more time for the top 10 finalists.
Okay, this is going to be fun.
I want to start off with the finale and play a clip from my behind the scenes right after we ended filming.
How do you top this? Oh, don't you worry. There are plenty of ways to top this. Crazier than this.
She said crazier. Oh, season 2 coming soon. We reacting. What are you talking about? Come on.
No doubt. Way better.
Come
There's
on.
so many things we learned. So many things. I mean, this is great.
This man's a machine. This man's a machine.
Oh my God. This is great.
This man is a machine.
And all these world records.
Seems like something I would say.
I couldn't believe you said that after that episode and giving away $10 million. Oh, what was the biggest thing you learned looking back?
Biggest thing I learned looking back, it is a little hard to get to know, like everyone, gets to know like the top 10 and 20, but you don't really know too many people after the first 2 episodes. So to be honest, in the future, I'm probably gonna be way more cutthroat. Like instead of eliminating 500, we should eliminate like 800 at the start so you get the numbers down. It sucks because then most people are going to show up and instantly get out, but
Crazy.
I think that would be better for character building. Well, there's a lot of obvious stuff now that I've watched the show maybe 45 times that I've pieced together. I think like one of the silliest things is like when we had people take bribes on episode 1, they also got out, when you eliminated everyone to your left and right. And I think it would have been way better if the person who pressed it didn't get out, so then we have like more people, because we build these people up and then they instantly get out and they're not in episode 2. Whereas like imagine the guy who took the $100,000 bribe was still in episode 2, at the end. That would have been really cool. So
Yeah.
like there's like, we did that kind of subtly throughout the show. It's like we'd spend an episode building someone up and they'd get out, but it would have been better if they stayed in. And so it's a lot of little things like that. That's like hindsight 2020. It worked great for the finale, but it's so sad that I don't get to put 10 million in the title. So in hindsight, maybe just make that part of it, because I'm paying 10 million, but 90% of people, just think it's 5 million, which is a little brutal. But the last 2 months are like, people keep coming up to me like, holy shit, you gave away $5 million. I'm like, well, yeah.
It was more than that.
You knew.
Okay, I got a hard-hitting question for you.
Oh, God.
All right. The critics' review of the show is very different than the fan review. On Rotten Tomatoes, you got an 89% from the fans.
Yep.
That was nice.
You can just stop there. 89%. What else do we need to talk about?
13% from the critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
From 7 critics, 7, who only watched the first 2 episodes. I agree. Yes.
Why the difference?
I don't know. We'd have to call them, but they literally left it within like the reviews within like an hour of the show dropping. So I'm like 99% sure they didn't even watch it. So, but at the end of the day, as long as the people who like the.
There should also be a rule about ratings where like people should watch them 2-3 times. Very time consuming, but this is what they do: 2-3 time watches, then make your critiques. Because even like with reactions, right? I'll react to a video, bro, and as I'm editing, I'm like, damn, my mind changed, or I should have said this, you know what I'm saying? Or damn, you feel me? Just stuff like that, bro. Your opinions change all the time.
70 million people that watched the show enjoyed it. Like, what else matters? So, coming from YouTube, I'm new to this whole critic thing. I don't know why you need to segment, these 10 people versus these 10 million people. Like, shouldn't all that matters is that the audience enjoyed it?
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't really matter.
Was there any feedback or criticism of the show that you're like, actually, that's a great note?
Oh yeah, tons. Maybe a little more skill-based stuff. Just
Facts. I agree, bro. Facts.
All right. Don't cheer too loud.
Facts.
Okay. Don't get so happy. But yeah, in the future, I definitely want a little less luck in it. You don't know till you go through it, but
skill-based would be
better
fire, though.
If it felt like certain people earn things more instead of like luck.
Yeah.
I actually really liked when we gave people the option to do chance skill or whatever. So giving people more of the option. So if it is luck based, it's like they decided. I think is a much better way of going about it.
There's one night on set when we played Settlers of Catan with the top 10, and
did I win?
Actually, I think you did.
Okay.
And it was fascinating to see you as a player, like how strategic you were, how measured you were. And I just wanted to put you in the situation of if you were a contestant on Beast Games.
Yeah.
What would you do in these situations?
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna rapid fire. Ready?
Yeah.
Episode 2, if you were on the tower, would you take the $1 million?
Of course, it's $1 million. Your odds are better. I don't know. Why'd you guys say no?
From the OG himself, from the creator. Let's go. Let's see his answer.
You could have axed 25% of the players. What are we doing? I'm kidding.
I'm looking at Dino.
Although I'm not. I mean, $1 million plus your odds are better.
You would take the $1 million bribe.
I mean, yeah, it's $1 million.
Even if you promised all the people, you're like, I'm gonna go there, say no.
Well, you just, ignore that part.
Do what you gotta do.
In episode 3, there were the cubes.
Oh God.
How do you go about getting out of the cube if the 2 people in there with you were Carl and Chandler?
Oh, wait, Carl and Chandler, you guys in here? Oh, hey. Huh.
I didn't hear what you guys were talking about.
He's asked me how I'd manipulate you in the cube.
If you were in the cube.
If I had to, it was me, you, and Chandler?
I would just never get out. I would be the villain for sure.
You'd be the Habibis? I'm kidding. I'd probably try to get him to play me in a board game. Maybe Monopoly, because Monopoly's like chance.
You're calling a board game.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably pull them each aside and be like, let's try to figure out how to team up on the other one and make our odds better.
Pull each of them aside individually.
Yeah.
Episode 5, would you compete for the island or skip that challenge?
Oh, definitely compete, right? Because you have 1 in 10 chance of 1.8 million. I'm actually, only 9 people did it, which is surprising because it's, what was it, 1 in 60 at 5 or 1 in 10 at 1.8? I mean, it's just like the EV score is just so much better. I was shocked 10 people didn't even go after it.
Episode 8, the challenge where there's $1 million in the middle and each contestant
How much you
go
taking?
out one by one and decide.
All million.
So if you went first, if you're in Tawana's position, you would go out and you would take how much?
Yeah, I would take the $1 million and then I'd just give it to him on the towers or something. I mean, they didn't know that at the time, but yeah, you would figure it out.
Wow.
Then you have all the control. That'd be awesome. I obviously would have played this completely different than you guys, so I probably would have been eliminated.
True.
Yeah, how much do you think about that when you go through creating the games with Tyler and Klitzner? Like, how much do you put yourself in the shoes of what somebody would do?
Oh, obviously every game, but how it played out and how we thought things would play out were 2 completely different things.
Facts.
Which I think is one of the beauty of the show is there obviously was a lot more integrity, a lot more camaraderie, and honestly way nicer than we thought in a lot of instances, which just threw off a lot of the equations for some of these games.
Which one in particular comes to mind?
I mean, obviously at the end of episode 2, I mean, I thought for sure someone was going to press it at 200K, and then it just went up to $1 million. But it was awesome because that cliffhanger was perfect, and people still come up to me and they're just like, "There's no shot that's real," and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
In the finale, would you have flipped the coin and risked elimination, but potentially no?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Especially because Tawana sounded like she was gonna do it too. That was crazy.
I have to ask about the $10 million coin flip.
For months leading up to that, I mean, I know you haven't even asked the question yet, but we were like, yeah, we'll just throw this in there. No one's actually gonna do it.
Yeah.
We're like, there's the EV ratio. Imagine filming for a month and then just gambling it all on a coin flip that everyone else benefits from.
Crazy.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say talking to you, Carl, Chandler, everybody didn't think it was going to happen.
Oh, no. You probably have 1,000 shots of me going, no shot. This is going to happen. Yeah. I was like, yeah, we'll probably just cut it out, the show, because, no one's going to do it, and it doesn't make sense. I told Tyler, he's the, for...
He's probably happy they used it for sure.
Who writes a lot of our stuff. I was like, why are we even doing this? This is just a waste of time. Who would actually, in their right mind, flip this coin?
That's not what he did.
How do you think about when you add more money on the show? Because I was there with you on set. The Tesla... for the train versus Lambo episode, for the trolley problem episode, you guys just stuck another $100,000 in the trunk. I think that was a game time decision. Yeah. How do you make those decisions of okay, let's add more money, let's add another $5 million? Do you ever think about, the return of adding more money, or is it just for fun?
Well, if we thought about the return, we wouldn't, because I don't think I got $5 million out of it. But it was just, no, I mean.
I wonder how much he made on this whole show up to this point.
Oh, these things are pre-planned beforehand, because obviously.
How much he gave away in total?
Can't, like, change too much on set, so it's usually just whatever we agree to going into it, to be honest.
Do you ever worry about raising the bar too high, Jimmy, to the point where like audiences become too desensitized to like what it means to win $10 million on a show? Like that is so above.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of that is if they're desensitized to the money I'm giving away, then I don't know how to watch any other game show. So I think that's more of a problem for everyone else, not us.
Yeah.
I thought it was fascinating how in the past week you put out the first 3 episodes of Beast Games for free on YouTube.
Yeah.
Why?
Just to get more people hooked, so then they would come over to Amazon and watch the rest. It's been great so far. Like, people are watching it, and it's causing a spike on the show. Because just some people, you know, just wanted to see it before they committed to buying to Prime.
What's been the impact of Beast Games on filming your YouTube content? Like, have you tried to do more challenges like you did in the games? Have you tried to up the production quality? Has there been a change or impact on your YouTube content?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think if you watch the pyramid video we just did, you'll see there's way more cinematic shots. It's way... just everything about it. It's in 4K, which I think that was, like, we're starting to do all our YouTube videos in 4K now. Just, I had a lot of theories like, you know, people prefer YouTube videos that feel a little more amateur. You know, especially because over half of the viewership on YouTube now in America is on television. So we started upping the quality of our cameras because I was like, oh, this show looks great. Now it makes my YouTube channel look like, you know, garbage. So we started bringing in
Say that again?
videos that feel a little more amateur. You know, especially because over half of the viewership on YouTube now in America is on television. So
half? Over half? What? Damn.
So we started upping the quality of our cameras because I was like, oh, this show looks great.
That's
now it makes my
crazy.
YouTube channel look like, you know, garbage. So we started bringing in the bigger rigs and using more high quality cameras. And so far the reception on YouTube's been great. So it's way more cinematic, way higher quality content, and I just think even the storytelling and things like that in our content has gotten much better. So I learned a lot. It also helped because we had a lot of traditional people, which is just a lens that I didn't normally learn from. I was around a lot of different people, so like learning from them over the 45 days and then pulling it all over to YouTube was really helpful.
Yeah, especially now I think YouTube just announced that TV is the most watched circuit.
Viewing TV now surpasses mobile desktop in the US. That is wild, bro. That is crazy if you really think about it, dude. Everybody has a phone. Like, hold on. Let me backtrack because I feel like everybody has a TV in the crib, 100%. Not everybody has a phone. Nah, bro. See, I feel like they're neck and neck, bro. To be over half is fucking insane. On TV. That's fucking wild, bro. That's really wild. I thought this whole time it was mobile on top. You know what I'm saying?
It's over half of US viewership is now on television for YouTube, which is crazy when you think about it because it used to just be a phone thing.
Exactly.
But as cable's dying, everyone's switching over to YouTube on
Facts.
TV.
That's
I want to ask you also about the
crazy.
change in thinking about story versus spectacle.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Crazy.
fascinating. Episode 1, biggest spectacle. You know, 1,000 contestants, 500 people eliminated roughly, trapdoors, pillars, like crazy production. Episode 8, nobody eliminated.
Jeez.
Is basically just people walking in and out of houses.
I want to know what they think. Which do you guys like better? Raise your hand if you like episode 1 better. Raise your hand if you like episode 8 better.
Wow.
That's interesting. No one got out.
Hey, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, you know the top 10. And
But I feel like that also has to do with the connection the audience builds with the player too. Like it's less people. It's more like you hear their story. You see, you feel me? It's more intimate, I guess.
it really built them up and came across better, as opposed to just dropping people against constantly. Yeah.
What did that teach you about changes you would make to your content moving forward?
I mean, obviously, we know the objective. Get it where you feel how you feel in episode 8, ideally sooner in like episode 2 or 3. I think at the crux, we just didn't get rid of enough people at the start, so we just got to get the numbers down sooner, and then it'll be much easier because, you know, if we have 30 or 40 people, it's not hard. It's just hard when you have 400 because, and if you're only going to focus on 30, why have 400? So just get the numbers down.
Yeah.
How did you try to find stories when it was that many people? Like you had people like asking questions, like
I mean, we had 150 people editing this, so it was, yeah, they were shifting through an unfathomable amount of footage. I mean, the other thing too is definitely giving our editors more editing time. I mean, we were right up to the deadlines, and then we'd get Amazon to like give us a couple extra days, and then we'd shave a couple days off dub.
That's how you know they had content, bro. A shit ton of videos. Because, bro, that's shot, sorry. Because, like, yo, 150 editors, bro. 150, and it's still not enough time. Stop it, bro. That's fucking insane. 150 people. That's freaking insane, bro.
And then we'd film it earlier, so we give the editors like ideally an extra month to like focus on it, because even though we had so many people, it's just like there's just way too much footage. Like episode 1 with the 1,100 cameras, it was brutal. But deeper in the show, when there's only 10 people, it's like, you know, you can watch everything that was said during that whole day, and so it's much easier to like grab the optimal stuff.
Crazy.
And put it in.
Yeah. It's so fascinating, Jimmy, to be able to interview you through the years as you go through different life stages and see how that impacts your videos. You recently got engaged.
I did.
Yeah.
I did the thing.
Yeah. Tia is here. I don't know where she's
Tia,
at.
are you here?
But shout
Bring
out to
her
Tia.
up,
She's wonderful to have on set. I'm wondering,
Jane coming up, damn.
being engaged, soon to be married, one day having kids, does that change how you view?
I don't know
It'll
what's
happen
the K
sooner
word.
than you think, man.
I don't know where you got that from.
Having a family, thinking about all that in the future, does that change how you think about the challenges and the contestants who come on your videos?
That's a deep question.
Facts.
Probably not, no.
Because there's a lot of...
Hey, he being real, bro. Hey, he just focused on the content, you know what I'm saying?
Like family dynamics. Like you look at like Jeff and Tawana, like you're not just invested in them at that point, it's their families, it's their kids. It's
I mean, those, like, obviously when we brought the families out, like you don't need to have like a wife or kids to understand like, oh, this hits emotionally and feels good.
You don't.
So I hate to give you a lame answer, but probably not. Love you, Tia, though, if you're here.
It's reported that you've placed a multi-billion-dollar bid on TikTok.
Well, I didn't.
Well,
I'm part of the...
Listen, bro. They were supposed to shut down, I think, a few days ago. Trump extended it. Yeah, y'all better get to IG and YouTube ASAP. No cap. No cap, bro. It's not looking right for TikTok, bro. Unfortunately.
A part of the bid. Well, first of all, yeah.
I don't have billions of dollars.
Oh yeah. First of all, I want to ask: is it true? If you could talk about the bid on TikTok, and if you win the bid to buy TikTok, I'm curious, what is your experience being the top YouTuber and now having a streaming show influence in terms of owning a platform? Like, what changes would you make if you were the owner of TikTok?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really not allowed to say much, especially because this is going to be on the internet. So, that's I can't. I don't know. You're going to get me in trouble here. They're going to kick me out of the deal.
Well, that's fair.
Ask me in a month, and I'll have a way better answer.
Any other thoughts, reflections, like looking back on such a monumental show?
People love the show. You guys are great. I mean, it's seeing the internet's reaction to it has been amazing. Like, honestly, I feel a little empty because I'm going to get up next Thursday, and I'm not going to be able to check Reddit or Twitter. I'm going to, just have to go back to normal life. It's kind of sad. But no, people loved it, and Amazon's happy, and you guys killed it. Thank you.
All right, it's time for the man of the hour, the guy who won $10 million. Let's bring out Jeff. All right, I just have to ask, Jimmy, you're telling me, did you wire the $10 million to Jeff today?
Yeah, a lot of you know we don't pay people until the episode airs, so this episode obviously aired at 3 a.m. today, so he just got paid, literally today. Were there ever nights where you doubted that it would be real?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
You doubted that the $10 million
it was just like
it's a lot of money.
This happened 5 months ago, and like my wife's like, I'm like, hey, like, can you believe it? And she goes, it's not in there yet.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what's gonna happen?
Facts.
That's a good one.
It's a scam.
Yeah.
MrBeast scammer confirmed.
And maybe we show the screenshot of it, and because it's crazy to see that
Yeah, in
amount.
post they'll throw it up on the reunion. So
Sheesh. I
here
saw
it
him tweet
is.
this
I
shit.
don't know what camera I'm supposed to be looking at, but if you're curious, obviously your information will be blurred. But there's the big 10 mil. So it is paid as of
Crazy.
now. All 20+ million should have been paid to everyone that's owed. So
It's crazy to see like all this like play out.
20+.
Jeff, how did you keep it a secret for 5 months? We spoke a few times. Like it's almost
Oh,
like
yeah, tell me about that.
Like that must have been the hardest secret to keep. That you won 10 million.
Of course, it's hard, but it's also like what I got to experience, and I think Clit said it when we were get down to the final 10. Like, think about everything you've gone through and how fun it was. Like, believe it or not, the people who watch it will feel the same thing, and like kind of like hit me like I can't take that away from my mom or my sister, even though they pride me.
They didn't know till today, or
my mom didn't know until this morning.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Whoa.
That's a real one.
Crazy. What was her reaction?
I mean, they lost their mind. I mean, and especially as I got further in the game, I was kind of leading them astray. Like, they thought I was for sure going to get eliminated on episode 9 by kind of the way I was acting with them. And then I just said, hey, in the final 6, I'm like, are you kidding me? I got to talk about Lucas 2 episodes in a row. Like, in my book, that's a winner.
W mans, bro. I really hope he finds that cure for his son, bro. I really pray he does, bro. And I hope these fucking organizations or whoever he talks to and works with do not fucking scam him, bro. I really hope he finds that cure, bro. No cap.
Like, however the finale works or ends, I consider myself a winner.
Man, I can't believe they didn't know till today. That's insane. It's dedication. That's why it didn't leak, though. I appreciate it.
But what's crazy is because Jack, my 9-year-old, was there at the finale, he hasn't told a soul.
Wow.
Let's go.
Oh, you man.
Wow, that is not easy.
Poor kid, too. Kids got big mouths.
Jack, you're going to be the coolest person in your school now.
Deadass.
When you go to school next.
Deadass.
You know, I spoke to a lot of people who
Watch
came
your
on the
back
show
now.
and they sacrificed a lot. People left their jobs, but a lot of them were a bit younger. You know, they could kind of roll the dice and do this last hurrah. You had a family at home. You were in sales. You like had this whole life in San Francisco. How did you make the decision to say, I'm going to potentially not look at my phone for 30 days to risk trying to make this crazy dream happen?
Shit.
I was at our annual conference for Association for Creatine Deficiencies 2 years ago, and the woman came on stage to give a keynote, and she goes, hey, everybody, I have the silver bullet to how to cure a rare disease. And everybody's on the edge of their seat, and she goes, you need to find a celebrity who has a child with it.
Holy shit.
Damn.
And so for me, I go,
Fuck.
obviously I'm not a celebrity, but I need to figure out how to get a
Damn near became one. I mean, not a celebrity, but everybody knows him now. Fuck.
And so for me, I go, obviously I'm not a celebrity, but I need to figure out how to get a platform and how to get a voice. And so I kind of toiled with it all the time.
Damn.
Early last year, my 9-year-old, 8-year-old at the time was like, Dad, I want you to watch this video with me. I want you to watch this video. It was MrBeast. And then I see it on a link for application on a billboard, like a casting billboard. And I go, I put it on my whiteboard. I set an alarm on my phone, and the day came. I think it was like May 31st. And so I recorded a video. And I'm like, screw it. I'm doing it.
Wow.
But I didn't tell my wife that I did it until I got in. Because I didn't want her to start planning and freaking out that I'll be gone for 30 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Terry Jo Bichelle who inspired me to kind of go, you got to get out there and get a platform. And I'm forever grateful for being there to hear that.
Wow. And how, so far, have you seen like people talking about it more and the creatine deficiency disorder and everything? Like what?
Oh, it's like I got a DM on Instagram from a mom in Argentina who said she had never heard anybody talk about creatine transport deficiency except her doctor.
Wow.
She thought her kid was the only one in all of Argentina, and she kind of felt like she was finally part of a group and finally heard. And
wow.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like that's the stuff that like that's.
Bro, that's like the saying, you're not alone. You're literally not alone in this world, bro. Like, you think you're alone. You think you're the only one going through some shit. You're not. You're not, bro. You're not the only one sick. You're not the only one sad. You're not the only one angry. You're not the only one struggling. You're not the only one poor. You're not. You're not, bro. Big ass world, bro. Crazy.
Why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Dang. Wow. And to put it in perspective, we were talking on set. How many people in the world have creatine transporter deficiency?
Diagnosed is like under 400.
In the entire world?
Yeah. But we think it's...
What was that? 9 billion people, bro? 400 under?
Underdiagnosed by 100-fold. I think most parents kind of give up because the diagnosis journey can take years to try to really figure out and pinpoint it.
And for people who aren't aware of the effects of this condition, can you just explain it? I know you've said it on the show, but I just want people to have full context.
For sure. Our bodies make creatine naturally, and they travel through the blood to get to the organs and the muscles. And there's a transporter. Lucas's transporter, or kids with CTD, their transporter is broken. So their bodies make the energy, creatine, fine, but their organs or muscles can't receive it. And the symptoms are kind of cognitive delays, developmental delays, epileptic, low tonal. So it's just failure to thrive. So it's just, and there's no treatment for it.
Fuck. Failure to thrive. Bro, that shit that's sent goosebumps all over my body, bro. Failure to thrive.
For it? Yep.
Fuck.
And how, if people want to help you, how would you recommend they reach out? Like message you on Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, you can message me on Instagram. You can go to creatineinfo.org, which is the nonprofit that is the primary funder for research. And there's more on my website too, legacy831.com.
Okay. Wow. After we watched the finale together for the first time last night, I started going through Twitter and social media and just trying to see some of the reactions of what people thought.
Well, before you read them off, have you been reading social media?
Wait, what clip is this? What clip is this?
For the first time last night, I started going through Twitter and social media and just
What clip is
trying
this?
to
I want to see
some of
this
the
clip.
reactions of what people thought.
Well, before you read them off, have you been reading social media, keeping up with it?
Yeah.
Only messages, so I don't know like what.
Have you read the Beast Game subreddit or anything?
Mm-mm.
Oh wow. Have you?
Well, of course. Yeah, I want to see what they think of everything.
Yeah. That's actually really. What have you seen that stuck out?
This stuff I said before, more skill based, blah blah blah. Interesting. So you don't read Twitter or search your name on the
I
internet?
do, but I haven't done it since. Well, I mean, the last 24 hours have been a little crazy.
Yeah, you should search 831 on Twitter.
Yeah. All right.
It's overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, it's very positive.
Here's a comment I thought just summed up everything I saw when I was researching. Quote, and I'll put this on screen. Tears as I watched the Beast Games finale, episode 10. The winner was well deserved, and I'm glad the contestants didn't leave with nothing. Great show, W all around.
Yeah.
What are your first plans with the $10 million?
First, I got to figure out how much taxes I would owe.
Yes.
W and L. W because he's handling responsibilities in business. L because he has to fucking do it. And well, he has to do that. Smart man.
Please pay your taxes.
Yes, smart man.
Please.
Smart man.
We sent the full $10 million. It's on him. Please pay the taxes.
Smart man.
You withdrawals before.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Which
so,
I'm glad, because so I have the pretty screenshot of the $10 million. But it's scary because he
Smart
owes
man.
a lot in taxes. Sometimes to help out people, we withhold it and pay the taxes for him, but we sent the full money.
Yeah.
Pay the taxes.
Yeah.
Don't go to jail.
Of course.
Jeff's like, I got it. April 15th, we're all good. Yeah.
And so, for me, it's finding
April 15th.
projects that we can fund to help find kind of a cure. And again, a cure is going to take time. It takes finding a technology or a therapy that works, and then you got to put it through clinical trials. So there's some awesome stuff going on at Stanford and some places in Canada too. And we're going to find out which projects are best to fund and try to get some stuff rolling.
Love it.
I really hope they don't fucking scam him, bro. I really hope they don't fuck him over.
We talked quite a few times after the finale taping and tonight about just preparing yourself for how, the world would react to finding out that you won the $10 million. Could you talk about some of the things you did to get ready and take this opportunity and ride the momentum?
obviously the X's and O's, you know, talking to attorneys, couples counseling, you know, like really making sure that we're prepared as a team, but also just kind of recommitting to who do I want to be, you know. They say kind of money doesn't change you, but it definitely brings out who you are. And so for me, it's, you know, I want my ultimate.
Oh my God, that's deep. Money doesn't change you, but it brings out the real you, essentially. Fuck.
The drive of why I believe I won was because I wanted to receive the prize so that I can share it. And for me, sharing it means helping kids like Lucas. So hold me to it, you know, and I want to be that person who's going to make a difference for kids like Lucas.
Are you going to quit your job?
Yeah, you won't see me in a W-2 again.
Was there anything that you bought or you spent knowing that the 10 million was coming, or you just played it conservatively until you saw the wire?
Pretty conservative. We went on a vacation. My kids have never gone to a beach vacation, even though we live in California. So we did a beach vacation over Christmas, and Lucas had a blast. We did swim lessons up until that, so he was much better prepared. And it was nice knowing that we had it. But we couldn't share it. It's a weird thing when it's happened, but it hasn't happened. Yeah. And I'm sure you have that all the time with your challenges.
Yeah. Like knowing it's coming, but it not being there. And so you have to
I think Cruz said something to my wife after the finale. He's like, she looked at him, she goes, "What just happened?" And Cruz is like, "Nothing happened yet. In 5 months, it will happen."
Dang.
One thing that we learned about you afterwards is that you're a professional poker player.
Ooh, like how professional you're talking.
Yeah, how professional, yeah. And did that play into the games?
As professional as, that is not true.
Oh, wow.
So that was a joke that landed so bad that they thought it was true.
Oh, wow.
I thought you were. I believe it.
And so this is a shout out to Cato. Cato, I don't know when he got out in the games, but he was a professional poker player. So when we were having this conversation with Gage and Tawana, I said, "Oh yeah, when I used to be a professional poker player," something to that extent. And like they believed it, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is great." So I was a horrible gambler, like horrible gambler. I haven't placed a bet in 10 years. So like,
thank God.
For me, yeah. So for me,
he's lying. Placed a bet on himself and took that risk to get on this show. What is he talking about?
To be a professional poker player is like hysterical.
What you mean?
Especially to all my friends, because I was never good.
I'm really thinking back to this moment where you had the families come out, and Jeff, seeing you with your family for the first time on set, what did that spark in you? Like, what did that reignite? Because it seemed to have an effect. A bunch of people mentioned it during the top 10.
Yeah, my family means the world to me. And I've never gone 30 days and not talked to my wife. And I love spending time with my kids. And like, I always thought it was cliche, like, oh, like the best day of my life was when my kids were born, until your kids are born and you realize it is. That was right up there with it. When they came around the corner and I saw my son and I hear him say my name, and then I see my wife and like she's looking at me like she's so proud of me. It was literally the best night of my life, like top 5 best nights of my life. And in typical Jimmy fashion,
so fire.
They walk around the corner this way, we go into a challenge. And again, I think it's one of the reasons why you see me kind of get a little fired up that night, was I was just, the emotions of that night were beautifully scripted. Bravo.
Fire.
And shout out to them for not saying, "Come home, we miss you."
No, they were, my wife was super supportive, like literally. We had, like, she's like, "Just letting you know, like, if you have a chance to call me for a bribe, I'm not going to answer."
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, and I told her, like, when I signed up for it,
oh,
hey, this is going to be
wow, that's a real one. What you mean? That's a real one. I'm sure she was hurting, bro. Not being able to see this, man.
Got an awesome platform for Lucas. Like, I'm going to be able to tell the world about creatine transport efficiency if I go far enough. She goes, "Screw that." She goes, "If you're signing up, you better win this thing." And that changed my whole mindset.
W, bro. Bring them up, bro. I want them up. No cap.
Yeah. I'll give you guys the final word. I'm so grateful that this happened. I texted Jimmy. I'm like, so much happened on the show. We got to do a reunion.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we did. I feel like the viewers will like having like a little bit more knowledge on certain things that happen, closure on a lot of other things, and then just getting to hear him talk more and everything. Like this will be perfect because after episode 10, whenever this goes out in a month, like it will autoplay for all the new people watching it. So it'll just be like a great way to like close any endings on watching the show. So I'm very glad we did it.
Fire. This is tough.
Jeff, any final words from you? Anything that you want to share with the world, your family, your cause?
My plan is to kind of put the rubber to the road. You know, I'm gonna ruck from the Nevada border all the way to the coast of California in the next few weeks to try to raise more awareness for CTD and for Lucas. I'm gonna start on the Nevada border of California, and we're gonna go 365 miles all the way to Santa Barbara area. So 1 mile for each day that Lucas has to suffer with CTD.
So 14 basically marathons.
More than that, but yeah, we'll have to do a marathon a day for 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Give it up one more time for Jeff.
Hey.
Damn, bro.
Hey, meet the world. Can't wait to catch up. I'll tell you more about that.
Thanks to T-Mobile, who knows a thing or two about keeping people connected. We have $60,000 up for grabs and a quick game to end out the night. What we're gonna do, we're gonna have you guys come up here, I believe, and then we're gonna put a cup over there.
Yep.
And then you'll each get a shot, kind of like in episode 2, and everyone who lands it in the cup will split the 60 grand. Thanks to T-Mobile, if you wanna look over there.
Check that out.
Oh, that looks sick. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Youshaei. Mula. Overshot it. Wait, it went in? No, it went over. That's in? Oh, it did go in. What the fuck? I thought it bounced over. Yeah.
Here it is.
Mula. Oh. W video, bro. W fucking video. Oh my god. Oh, W video. I'm so glad they did a reunion. Everybody got to talk. It was real spicy in the beginning. Real spicy, and that's saying. Dino saving them all from elimination, putting his life on the line to fight the wildfires in Cali. To being called racist in a reunion show is straight diabolical. Yeah, that whole race thing, bro, with her over here. I don't think he chose. His decisions was race motivated. And then the girl who won the island too, like, I don't know. MrBeast looked so embarrassed when they were getting in heated debates. It's so funny. I had a lot of support on Reddit, is what I'll say to anyone who questions the decision I make. Although that was gold. The hate on Dino is just totally unwarranted. Whether Jasmine was white, black, or whatever, he was gonna pick a person that is close to Tijuana. Yep. I said the same shit, bro. I said the same thing. Now, if it was a black girl, I mean, if he was black, would it have made a difference? I don't know. The fact that Dino got more hate than JC is baffling. The issue with the Habibi brothers is not that they would work together to get out the queue. It was the mocking the other girl and laughing about it. The true reason why the internet turned against them, it's the attitude they had in the situation truly bad. Yep. And I stand on it. Good thing they didn't win nothing. You feel me? W video. Let me know what you guys thought.